Hey, been about a month since I've made one of these. No real reason other than that I have been really busy. It turns out that being a staff member at two different video game sites and working full time and going for an undergraduate degree tends to take up an awful lot of your free time. Who knew? Not me. So in addition to being a community expert over at 360voice.com, I am now a news hound over at trueachievements.com. What that means is I basically hunt down and write news articles. For some reason, all my articles lately have been about 3D gaming. I don't know why, I just seem to naturally be drawn to any company that thinks it's a great idea to make games in 3D. Right now, it seems like Batman Game of the Year edition is going to be in 3D in Europe only, but that's about it as far as quality 3D gaming goes. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep my eyes out, see what happens. Of course, I'm probably never ever going to play a 3D game, but that's just me. Instead, what I will be playing is this game, Final Fantasy 13. Came out about 2 weeks ago. I've logged about 9-10 hours into it so far. For some reason, as much as I like the game, and as much as I actually enjoy the combat system, the setting, the characters, I just no longer have the time to sit there for hours on end and play a Japanese RPG. I just can't do it. Hopefully in the future I'll have a little more time and I'll be able to pull that off, but for now, not going to be able to happen. Which is a shame because I don't know why people are hating on Final Fantasy 13 as much as they are. I mean, yes, it's totally linear. Yes, some of the characters, Snow in particular, Hope as well, are pretty annoying. Yes, the world is incredibly complicated with lots of background and these weird terms that they made up, like Fal'Cie, Il'Cie, and they never really explain quite what's going on, not at least at the chapter I'm in. I'm still, again, only about 10 hours in, so I don't know too much about what's going on. And I swear to God, if any of you respond to this, or send me a message over live, or make a blog posting on 360V about what does happen in the game, I will hunt you down and I will hurt you. Or I'll simply call one of my larger friends and have them go over and do it. I won't do it myself. But, yeah. So, in addition to Final Fantasy 13, I got a bunch of games from GameStop, thanks to, well, you people. Thanks. Let's see here. What was in that pile of loot? Yeah. Dead Space. Let me aim it correctly into the camera. There we go. Wanted to play this game for a while, haven't gotten around to it. Cool. Can't say no to free. Red Alert 3. Reason I got this is not only because it's a quality real-time strategy game for the 360, I hope, but then again, free is a really good price. I really loved Red Alert 2. I mean, I really loved Red Alert 2. It was the first PC game I actually got into the online gaming with, and I would do the whole ladder thing with the Allies. That was my faction. I used the Allies. And I was so proud of myself when I finally cracked the top 100 in the worldwide ladder for Red Alert 2. I even had a game against the number 2 guy in the world, and this is just how my mind works. I remember something like this, and yet I really can't remember my phone number. Go figure. Anyways, match against the guy at number 2 in the world, I was going to kill him. I was sending a group of Harriers in to take out his construction yard. He had no defenses left. I was going to wipe him out. And then the bastard quit out on me. Very first time someone did that to me in an online game, and it was scarring. I mean, here it is, undetermined number of years later, far more than I care to admit, And I still remember this. And the jerk. Go figure. Oh well. I should have known back then that I was a total dork and there was no hope for me. And then to farther prove that, Raiden 4, the GameStop exclusive, technically it's actually an import title, which makes it kind of weird. On most of the achievement sites online, it'll actually show up with the Japanese characters and everything. And it did on 360 Voice until we finally went in back in just January and changed that around and actually had it show up as Raiden 4. And I say, we, that's a royal we. I do none of the programming for that site. Just so that everyone's aware and on the same page. Yeah, so those 3 games are cool. They're nice and all. And again, free. Can't argue with free. All the best things in life are free. I got one other game that lots of people have been talking about. A couple people would say it's like one of the best games ever made. I won't mention names, probably because I can't pronounce their gamer tag. But, yeah, lots of people say this game has a deep, involved combat system, an excellent plot, decent enough graphics, decent music, but the gameplay, they say, is phenomenal. Easily some of the best they've ever come across. And, of course, what other game would I be talking about than Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad. Despite the name, I find that Dead or Alive Extreme 2 is still way worse in this game, and even Leisure Suit Larry is worse in this game when it comes to, the exploitation of women, shall we say. This game, as far as skin goes, is actually rather tame, which you wouldn't expect based off of the cover art and the subtitle. But, yeah, I was actually surprised. Especially because, let me just read for you what it says on the back of this case. It says, "Sexy samurai sisters, our final hope." Yep. Battle zombies across an infected city, non-stop combat and swordplay, costumes and more in dress-up mode. Has anyone has ever reviewed this game ever mentioned dress-up mode? I did not know this existed in this game, and it gave me flashbacks of Final Fantasy X too. Basically, as you complete quests and earn achievements in the game, you'll unlock costume parts for your characters. You can go in there, pretty them up, and everything. And the level of customization that they give you is scary. You can adjust eye color, lip color, hair color, shirt, pants, whatever, down to a degree that normally you see in The Sims. It's kind of, I don't know, off-putting in a way. It's weird. Definitely not what you expect in a hack and slash game. I've played Wolverine hack and slash game. No dress-up mode for Wolverine. Afro Samurai. Yeah, no dress-up mode for Afro Samurai. Bikini Samurai Squad has a dress-up mode, though. But this game was actually a budget title in Japan. D3 Publishing, they specialize in the cheap budget titles, kind of like what Codemasters used to do over here in the 90s. Like the old NES games that you'd be able to pick up for about like $10-15. Again, I'm probably aging myself with that one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to talk about Onechanbara, and it's difficult. Because again, the game was, it doesn't quite live up to the hype of being the deep, involved, great gameplay thing, but it's also a lot better than I expected. I mean, I want to sit here and make fun of it, and believe me, lots of people have done that. But how can you make fun of something that knows exactly what it is? This game makes no delusions for being anything other than a ported over cheap budget title. Again, the graphics, perfectly standard. There's plenty of zombie variety.